Many times were you married?
5.
Why are you in the penitentiary now?
All the claims I killed my husband.
Which, your last husband?
Yes, sir.
Did they say you killed any more?
Yes,
Or
sir.
your other husband? Which other?
3 of them.
She loved baking pies. She made cookies for the neighbors, smiled at the children, and waved at every person who passed her house. If you met her on the street, you would never guess. This sweet little grandma had killed 11 people. She wasn't a shadow in a dark alley. She wasn't a maniac with a knife. She was a woman with a gentle smile, an apron, and a cup of warm tea. At the funerals of her victims, she stood in the front row. She hugged their families, wiped away tears, comforted the grieving, and she laughed, quietly, softly, like something inside her wasn't human at all. Later, the press would call her the Giggling Granny, but at the time, no one realized that death came to them not in a black cloak, but with a homemade pie. Pause, music fades slightly. Her name was Nannie Doss, and this is the story of one of the most terrifying female serial killers in American history. Nannie Doss was born in 1905 in Blue Mountain, Alabama. Her family was poor, and her father ruled the house like a dictator. School was not allowed. Childhood didn't exist. At the age of 7, she was injured in a train accident. She hit her head on a metal bar and was unconscious for hours. People close to her later said she was never the same. She became distant, quiet, and she smiled, often for no reason. She grew up isolated, with no real friends, and no comfort at home. The only escape she had were cheap romance magazines. Perfect love stories, handsome men, happy endings. Nannie believed those stories, and she carried that belief with her for the rest of her life. At 16, Nannie ran away from her father's house. She met Charlie Braggs, a co-worker at a linen factory. He seemed safe, kind, like the love she read about. They married quickly, but the fairy tale didn't last. Charlie drank heavily, cheated, and yelled. The house was cold and full of fear. They had 4 children, and then tragedy struck. 2 of the children suddenly became ill. Doctors said it was food poisoning. No one suspected the smiling young mother. At the funerals, Nannie cried, but neighbors said something felt off. One woman whispered. She looked almost happy. Not long after, Charlie fled with their oldest daughter. He later said, "I was afraid to fall asleep next to her." After Charlie left, Nannie started writing to Lonely Hearts columns. Romantic letters. Promises of love. Carefully chosen words. Men came to her one after another. At first it was kind words, gentle hands, love notes. Then came the boredom, the disappointment, and finally, the poison. A little arsenic in a cup of tea. Stomach pains in the morning. Weakness in the afternoon. Death at night. The funerals were always the same. People cried. She stood in the front row, smiling softly. Second husband. Third. Fourth. The pattern repeated again and again. And it didn't stop with men. She poisoned her own mother, her sister, even her grandson. No one suspected that. Sweet Granny. She was always there, kind, helpful, grieving with the family. Samuel Doss was different. A quiet, polite man. A widower looking for a peaceful life. He married Nannie in 1953. At first, everything seemed calm. But Samuel's predictability bored her. A few months later, he suddenly became ill. Doctors were suspicious. He died too fast. They ordered an autopsy. The results were clear. Arsenic. A lethal amount. Nannie was arrested. She didn't fight. She didn't cry. She didn't even look surprised. She sat calmly, smoothed her skirt, and smiled. When police asked how many, she answered, 11. And then she said, almost playfully, "I just wanted love." The case exploded in the press. Newspapers printed her photo with a headline, "The Giggling Granny." In the courtroom, Nannie smiled. She listened to the charges like they were gossip, not confessions of murder. No tears. No guilt. No fear. She was sentenced to life in prison. In prison, other inmates said she was always laughing. A light, quiet laugh. The kind that crawls under your skin. In 1965, she died in the prison hospital. Quietly. Without ever expressing remorse. But her smile remained, in every photo, every headline, every story. We imagine monsters hiding in the dark. But the worst monsters can stand right next to you, smiling. Nannie Doss didn't wear a mask. She didn't stalk people in the night. She baked pies. She hugged people. She laughed. And then, she poisoned them. Evil doesn't always look like evil. Sometimes it looks like a sweet old lady. This was the story of Nannie Doss. The Giggling Granny. The woman who turned love into death.